I'm Ryan Reyes.
And I'm Dominic Angel.
And I'm Ricky Macias.
And together we are
Un Poquito.
Podcast.
Un Poquito Podcast. Explain Latin culture little by little.
Hell yeah. Good to be here, y'all. We're feeling good. We got a show going on tonight. You guys would already have heard about it by the time this comes out. We're very excited for today. We have a killer guest. You might know them from TikTok. You might know them from Twitch streams. Please welcome today. We got Latinos Against Spooky Shit. And Cujo Plays Games. Give it
How's everybody
up.
doing?
Hell yeah. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Doing all right.
It's California.
It
I'm
is.
loving it. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never actually hung out in California before, so he's driving around. I'm like, mountains.
I forget how scenic LA actually is because people just think it's just a city.
People don't realize that there's topographical fucking things out here like mountains and hills, and it's pretty. It's nice out here.
Yeah.
It's a good time to come look at our mountains too. They're actually green and have snow on them.
Yeah.
And there's
That
not as
was
much
really
smog,
cool.
so you can actually kind of see through it. Yeah.
As a truck passes by.
I was gonna say it's probably. I think I bet that Jonathan is a good tour guide. I'd be a terrible one because I like to mess with people. I point to random topographical objects and just call it Satan something.
Satan's
You see
toenail.
that mountain range over there? That's Satan's asshole. Don't go there.
Satan's left thumb. Just a freeway.
No,
Satan's
see,
kneecap.
I'm coming from the Midwest where there's the planes. There's planes and malls. Planes and malls everywhere. That's about it.
Like airplanes? Or
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like,
The
yeah.
topographical. Yes, we have airplanes.
Planes,
Geometrical
planes, and
planes.
planes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a new book.
Planes, trains, and
It's
automobiles.
It's a sequel to that one. It's planes, and planes.
It's for more rural areas.
Make that the Illinois tagline, and there you go. That's
you go.
pretty much how it is. But yeah, I was flying in. And I was like, oh my God, everything's so picturesque and beautiful. I love it. And I'm like, oh God, this is a little anxiety inducing driving around to gigantic, crazy mountain ranges. It's awesome.
Yeah, driving around. You're riding passenger. I'm the one driving around.
Were you guys
And I'm
stop
weaving
breaking
through
the reality here?
traffic. I'm weaving through traffic, and I just see him gripping the handles, and I'm like, "This is LA, baby. This is how we're getting through."
A real passenger princess, huh?
Yeah.
I am not. Listen, all right. I am a suburbanite driver, okay? So I am totally fine with somebody's in front of me. At least they're going the speed limit. That's fine. This one's like, they're going 1 mile below. Must Tokyo drift around them. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, the
Kill
speed
me.
limit is a suggestion. It is not the law. I don't care what anybody says. Follow the law. Do as I say, not as I do.
It's a great thing to put out in the public. That's awesome. Well, way to go.
That's LA, baby.
Hey, that's LA for you. What are you going to do about
It's in
it?
New York. Hey, what are you talking about?
I'm driving over here.
That's legit, though. That's actually how he operates. It's kind of scary.
I feel judged.
You should
So,
see. Sorry,
What were you
going
going
to
to...
flip a coin?
I win. So we were talking earlier. Okay, for people that don't know, I introduced you as your TikTok handle.
Yes.
If you want to give yourself a real introduction.
Hola, buenas tardes. I'm Jonathan Perez, known as Latinos Against Spooky Shit, where I help folks of all creeds, races, and ideologies avoid los spookies, because people have a love for fucking with los spookies. I don't know why. I don't know what the inclination is.
It was so funny because when I first saw your profile, I just saw the name. I saw your name keep popping. I saw your profile, your videos, separate from associating it with your actual name.
Jonathan?
No, Latinos Against
Oh,
Spooky
okay,
Shit.
gotcha.
Your handle.
Yeah.
So I always saw your videos and I was like, this is super funny. And then I kept seeing your name pop up because we followed each other. And I was like, I thought Latinos Against Spooky Shit was a funny name because immediately what comes to mind, I was like, what are you talking about? Latinos love spooky. I was thinking of Halloween and goths
Right.
and alt stuff.
We love goth.
And then when
girls.
I saw the video where I put it together, where I was like, what you do is fucking hilarious because it is hey, don't mess with the fucking spirits.
Right. It's not we're against things that are spooky. We're against messing with the things that are spooky. So many, the first video I ever did, which is a gentleman on TikTok, and he lives up in the mountains, and it starts with, I was at home and I heard a strange noise last night, so I went to investigate, and that's where I'm like, no. Stop. Hard end. That's where that conversation should have stopped. You went back inside and you enjoyed the rest of your life living peacefully. But people, they hear things and they want to investigate. It's like, we don't have to. You really don't.
Do you have like spooky encounters?
I've had a few. Yeah. The first one, and I've talked about it in a few of my live streams. I had a premonition of my death when I was like 10 years old, and it was weird. So it's me in the back seat.
Starting out strong, damn.
Listen, and we're starting off. We're starting off
Hey.
with the heavy hitters. 10 years old, back seat with like a family member's. Yes, I was prima hermana. I don't know how they were related to us, but they were somehow related to us. And we were in the back seat. My aunt and other family member driving. We're in a truck. We're in Seattle, and we're driving. We're supposed to go over this like train track. And I remember that me and this little girl looked through the window, and we were on the track itself, and the train was 15 feet away from us, charging at us. We start crying. We start screaming. And then my aunt's like, "What's wrong with you?" And then we like snap out of it, and we're like 30 feet behind the track. So we're like, "Don't get on the train track. Like the train's gonna come and hit us." They're like, "What do you like? The rails aren't down, the lights aren't flashing. Están locos, ya sabes." So finally we get up close, and we're about to go over the railroads, and the lights start flashing. They start going off, but the bars hadn't come down yet. So it hadn't warned us, and it warned us too late. So the train was actually just around the bend coming through. So cars were trying to get out of the way. And so we managed to avoid it that way.
Damn, you had a destination ultimo.
It was a
or
final,
what?
yeah, ultimo destino, bro. Legit, yeah. And ever since then, I've been afraid of roller coasters and everything else because I'm like, they're gonna get me one way or another.
Último Destino sounds like a Spanish news segment.
Ultimo destino, or it sounds like un luchador, one of the two.
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
For the triple A title against Conan.
You better stay away from Devin Sawa, dog.
So that's been that's probably the one that I can remember the most. And then in Montana, the restaurant that my family used to own was actually one of the oldest brothels in the area. And so it was known to be haunted. And there was Steve. Steve was a dick. Steve loved pushing shit off tables, like especially women's purses.
Was it a cat?
I think Steve was really just the ghost of one of the cats because he would just knock shit off, or they would always turn the radio to country music.
Vomit would show up in one of the people's shoes.
There was just a ghostly hairball every time. But yeah, those were kind of the two encounters. Ever since then.
That's crazy because I feel like you meet a lot of Latinos who are into like brujeria and like and stuff, and it's kind of just like a practice and like a religion, and it's like but it's. I've never met anybody like I don't think I've ever had like a real like spooky encounter.
Sure.
I feel like I've heard things before and I've like kind of
Ignore them.
Right. Well, there was a thing in our house, my grandma's house that we used to live at.
That was just Ryan, dude.
Right. Well, the thing was they told us like, oh yeah, like kids died in this house.
Excuse you.
I think they were just fucking with us though. But the thing is that if you were there was a wall that like so we had a converted garage, right? As you do, Mexican household.
You mean the extended part of the house?
Yeah. So if you were in the room that shared the wall with the garage, or if you were in the garage, it would sound like there was kids playing in the other area. And like my tios used to say that like they could hear it. And one time I was like, oh, I think I hear something. But
I think your family was running an underground daycare, bro.
yeah, it also was. It was built over the ground. Like it wasn't built. Like the foundation wasn't in the ground. It was like.
It was.
That's how you have to build houses because of plumbing.
Yeah. No, your shit was
so
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't. A premonition.
Yeah,
That's creepy, man.
it was probably the most intense ones. We also recorded the audio of a guy laughing on. So this was. I'm in Montana. I'm trying to blend in with the local folks there, right? So one of my friends, we watched a show, and they have those tape recorders where they like record and said, "Well, we should go downstairs of the bar and we should ask questions." So we're down there like idiots, recording and talking, blah blah blah. We come back upstairs. We listen to the audio, and I asked a question. I was like, "Are you friendly?" And in the microphone or in the recorder, you could hear this laugh. The best way I can do it is like, like this, right, like this creepy, like a creepy old man laugh, like right up to the thing to the recorder, and I'm like, oh, maybe we got some like interference from upstairs. Maybe we heard somebody in the bar laughing. So I sent them to go upstairs and start stomping around, and I'd record to see if we could pick it up again, and we couldn't recreate it. So
I'm just imagining, like, when you ask that question, like your shoelaces start tying themselves to each other.
I start tying my own. Very Casper. That's funny.
I did have one. You know, I don't normally believe in any of this.
Sure.
But I remember I used to live in a house that had like a huge front yard. It was like old crappy house.
Okay.
And we had this house next door. And I have this memory. I was like 4 or 5. I have this memory where I would go talk to the kids next door that had this like big fence, big like gate, like chain link fence. They're for them. They're big
Medieval times?
times.
Yeah, I got it.
Moats.
He had a moat around.
Had a
him.
moat.
They were test running.
Princess in the Castle. Yeah.
Yeah, they were test running the that restaurant.
Medieval times.
Yeah, medieval times. And
The one that I just quoted.
He lived
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Buena Park.
yeah, I was like, that's the word. Yeah, that's the word. So I would go over there and talk to them. And I remember one day I was like, oh, I want to show them my bike because I'd gotten a bike. So I go to our side of the house and I have to like wrangle it because we're from a big family. So I had to wrangle it out of a bunch of other bikes and
Right.
scratch all their bikes. And I'd take it over to them. And my sister's like, where are you going? I was like, oh, I'm going to show it to the neighbor kids. And she's like, no one lives there. And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I was like holding the fence, talking to them. And they were right. There's a boy and a girl. And like,
They owe me $5.
They asked me to spot him a 20, dude. Fuck.
I bought them ice creams.
that's literally like a memory I had.
The closest
Yeah,
thing
hell
I've
no.
had to that I can recall is I was about 4 or 5 too. I was living in Texas at the time, and we were at my mom's friend's house. So it was just me and my older brother. And Ryan wasn't born yet, but we were leaving. She lived at like the second story of an apartment complex, and we were leaving like late at night. And so they were kind of like ushering all the kids like down the stairs. It was like me, my brother, and then my mom's friend's kids. So it was like 5 of us total. And it was really weird. Again, I was like 4 years old. I don't fucking know. I'm just making this up in my head. But like, I remember like going down the stairs and like through the parking lot, there was like this little like figure running around the parking lot. And then like I saw it through one of the car windows, like, we made eye contact. I made eye contact with this thing, and it looked. The best way to describe it is kind of like it had the body of like. It looked like if somebody made a horror version of like the honeycomb monster, like the fur ball with the.
Yep.
Oh.
It looked just like that, except it had like an American Werewolf in London face, like.
That's just your cousin Chucho, bro. We doesn't come out much because of that.
That just sounds like a chupacabra.
Yeah,
I was gonna
bro.
say that sounds like the new trailer for Chupa.
Yo, that is the
Dude,
so dumb.
I sent
So
you-
mad at that.
I sent you guys the poster for the new movie. I laughed so hard when I saw it because I saw it on Twitter. But Netflix is coming out with a movie about the Chupacabra, which is supposed
Called
to be
Chupa.
it's called Chupa.
It's
That's
so,
not a joke.
So
Oh,
Chupa,
man.
by the way, means suck.
Oh, thank
So-
you.
Yeah.
I was gonna,
Thank you.
for those who are uninitiated.
Yeah. And so that's the joke, is that's like when you tell people like suck my dick, you Chupa over it.
Chupa me lo, bro.
Yeah.
I like that you were confident to say it in English.
And then I was like, wait a second, what do you say?
You don't want your grandma to find out.
Oh, dude. That's the scariest thing of all, bro. Like my grandma finding out that I swear. Yeah, I'd take a ghost on before I took my grandma. Hands down. Dude. She would whoop my ass 3 times a Sunday.
But it's just so funny because that's how you know that no Latinos are working on this project.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, inclusion not happening.
Yeah.
Nobody in that writers meeting went, "Hey, boss, listen, like Chupa."
There's like
Wrong
one
kind of
guy.
movie, dude.
Guys, I got this real good idea for a movie. Everyone's going to love it. Mark, do you think that Chupa would be a good name? No.
It's close to chalupa, so I think they'll get it.
I think it tracks. There's
They'll be able to make that
word
jump.
association, Chalupa, Chupa.
terrible.
That's the one.
Chupacabra.
Chupacabra, dude.
That's based. I want to be because I said it first, but that's based on a text from Dominic. He officially said it first.
Well, Josh, he's not on mic, but Josh said that he thought it was chalupa, and I was like, chalupa. Chupacabra does sound like a banger of a movie.
Chupacabra, dude.
That's like an episode of like Mucha Lucha. Like
That's so funny.
that
bring
would
back
no.
the
I'm
show.
saying like
Oh.
that would
I
be
was
an
like, what?
episode of like what's that? El Tigre. Like
El Tigre and the Flea and
yeah. Like Chupacabra would be like there's monsters hunting and they all have to wrestle the Chupacabra. Yeah.
Special
That's
moves
I used to
called the
cry.
Churro.
I used to cry about the Chupacabra when I was little.
Really?
Yeah, because there's a whole X-Files episode on it, and it got to me.
Okay.
X-Files is next level stuff, though. When you're a kid and there's an X-Files episode on, I don't care what episode it is, you're like, I don't know that I could watch this.
My family used to talk about it, but now that X-Files is talking about it, this is real now.
We got 2 white folks that are in the FBI. Fuck.
This is valid.
They got a file on it.
This is Fox News.
Yeah. and they were trying to get me to take a shower after that show, and I was like, I'm not gonna shower. Like,
No.
the Chupacabra is gonna get me when I'm most vulnerable.
Yeah, that's how it strikes. Have you not seen the episode?
Yeah, and they were like trying to convince me, like they're trying to like kid logic against me,
Yeah.
and they're like, the Chupacabra can swim, and I was like, yes, he can. He can cross the border, and I just started crying.
Wow.
Damn.
That's like a Ricky was a racist ass little kid.
You guys are lying.
I'm not afraid of him because he can kill me. It's because he's an immigrant. Now we got to the root of the problem here, folks. You heard it here first. Ricky's a racist.
Ricky voted for Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. It's also so funny that, like, culturally speaking, we're so against like brujeria and some of those things, depending on like if you were raised religious or not.
Right.
But we lean so much on like El Chupacabra or La Llorona or those things to scare our kids into doing stuff. And so like I always grew up being told like La Llorona's gonna get you, dude. Like if you don't pay attention to your mom or anybody. It wasn't, hey, Jesus doesn't like that, or hey, the Bible doesn't like that. It always reverts back to La Llorona. That crazy bitch is gonna come find you.
That was
We
the funny
didn't-
thing you had said before the podcast, where it's like, you know, when it comes to Harry Potter, that stuff's witchcraft. Don't believe in it. But then as soon as somebody's sick, you're cracking eggs under the bed.
Yep. Or like as soon as you hear your little horse, they're like, I got a tea for that. And they're concocting a bunch of shit in the kitchen. They're praying over it. Yeah. The lights all of a sudden flicker.
We didn't have to worry about La
I think
Llorona
that's just
because
bad
we didn't.
Sorry.
I literally said 20 words, and then you started talking.
Like,
He wasn't
Llorona's
even
gonna
midway
get you
through
around.
Yo,
a
those
sentence.
intrusive thoughts are rough.
He wasn't midway through a sentence. He was almost done speaking.
Yeah. Technically, he didn't interrupt. He just ended your sentence.
Yeah. He was continuing your thought.
That's the assist right there. Allie, oops.
Yep.
Oh,
What did you
man.
say?
You need some tea, mijo?
Hey everybody, we want to take a second to thank our sponsor, Legacy Teas and Spices, which is a company run by our mom, Angel Mesco, who's here with us today.
Hey guys.
Normally me and Ryan give you the spiel, but today we're going to let my mom tell you about her teas, so why don't you take it away?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention we have several medicinal teas in stock. A lot of people have been asking. A lot of people have New Year's resolutions that they're working on. So we have tea to help. And so I just wanted to mention we have an immune system to help boost your immune system. We have a stress-free tea. We have a good night tea that helps with sleep. We have turmeric ginger that helps with inflammation. We have a detox that's a cleansing tea. We have a digestive aid. We also have a weight management tea. We're all trying to get healthy right now, and with a proper diet and some exercise, these teas can really help you out. We have different sizes, and today we're holding up, this is like a starter size. It's a $12.95, but with your code you get the discount. And this can give you about 12 servings, give or take, depending on how much you use. But this is all artisan, hand blended by myself. And yeah, we have many flavors. Check out our website. Using UP23 at checkout so that we know you came from watching Un Poquito podcast. It gets them 23% off their entire purchase online at legacyteasandspices.com. All right, thanks you guys. Thanks for having me. Thanks you guys.
We didn't have to worry about La Llorona. Because we didn't have a bathtub.
Poverty saves the day.
All that lead up to that.
Please tell me there's more to that.
Nope, that's it, dude. Thanks for watching, guys.
We just had a shower, and it would have been like...
Oh my god, that's weird. That's funny. I just realized that growing up, we didn't have bathtubs either. What the fuck was I worried about?
Oh man.
Why was I so scared?
Wow. Did you just have that
I
realization?
did. I grew up poor.
What if she just like waterboarded, just put a towel over your head?
Yeah, right? Just in the shower head the whole time. Just very ineffective, but you know what? It'll get the job done.
Is that where
eventually.
she's at?
They did get us with the kukui, which was so funny to me
Yeah.
because...
Gooey, bro.
But the thing is that we didn't have like... So our house was pretty much built by my grandpa, right?
Okay.
And he learned how to do all of his construction work by working on this house. So not all of it is...
And this was before YouTube.
Right. So he kind of just had to figure stuff out. So like the thing was that like, you know how like kukui, I mean, commonly was like they're in the closet, right? Was this a thing for you guys, or am
We're
I just
inclusive,
making
okay?
stuff?
They can come out at any point in time.
Yes, they can.
They're not all in the closet.
All of the
But yeah, El
kukuis.
Kukui was always either in the closet or there was that one room at the end of the house.
Yeah.
Right. You're not
No.
supposed to go in there.
That your uncle's hasn't finished fixing up?
Yeah.
But here's the thing was that everybody lived in every single space in our house, right? So
Yep.
like we didn't have like a hall closet or like a just like a general
A
closet.
living closet.
Yeah. So our house was set up weird because we would the front door that we would technically use was the side door. Like because the front door, the door that's actually in the front of the house is like on the right side of the house, you have to cut through the grass. But we didn't have a walkway to the grass.
Sure.
So nobody ever used that door. But it had like a patio, like a little.
It was like an actual front
like a little
door, but
porch,
just
like it was
on the
actu-
side.
Yeah. I was on the far side of the house, but if you just walk up the driveway, they put like a side door there. So we technically would use the side door. That was our front door.
Okay.
So that was the thing that was really funny to me was that they just said like the kukui hung out on the porch.
He's just, what's up, guys?
You better not come in
You
here.
better not come in. You got my money? It's like, what?
You don't want no part of this.
I gotta get to these keys.
How do I reach these kids? Oh man.
Just someone's uncle. Damn, bro.
So you're okay. Right now you're in Montana.
No. I was in Montana.
Whoa.
I haven't been in Montana for like 6 months now. Right
Okay.
now I'm in Nevada.
You're in. Oh, that's right. You were telling us. you're
Yeah. So I
in
just
Nevada.
moved a couple months ago. Thank God. Just Montana's small. It's rural. I'm a city boy. It's what I prefer. Beautiful though in the summertime, Montana. But in the wintertime, it's 9 months of winter.
My only
gross.
knowledge of Montana is from King of the Hill.
That's where Peggy's parents are from?
Yeah.
I don't want to say that it's inaccurate. There's some truth to that stereotype.
It's not Henry Winkler. It's Billy Crystal.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I'm in Nevada now. Nothing is spooky in Nevada so far. Not to say that it's not built on like a native burial ground because it's. Oh God, we lost Ryan.
God, Ryan.
I'm imagining like late at night you just hear hello.
Everything's haunted by Billy Crystal.
That's the dumbest ghost.
Just hosting the Oscars at you.
I understand why you lost your shit now. That was okay. I see the intrusive thought there. Yeah, that's good.
Good Lord.
Play back the recording. Are you friendly? Hello.
That's what it was. He was just trying to tell us a joke, man.
Oh.
But you're originally from Seattle, or like? Oh wait. Okay, so you're kind of.
Do you want me to give you the
I want to give you
timeline?
the step because you told us something really interesting about like your upbringing earlier before recording.
Are you talking about the orphanage?
Talking about the orphanage.
Trying to tiptoe around it.
Was that not clear?
Yeah, like he's like, so you were telling us a thing, right? About The Thing?
Do you remember?
Yeah. I grew up in an orphanage in Mexico. I was loved by my parents. So it's not that I was an orphan. My grandmother was the director of the orphanage, and we just happened to live on the orphanage. But I knew who my parents were, allegedly.
So you had parents. You just
So I
got,
had parents.
you just got to hang out with the orphan.
I just like to boast and be like, what are you doing Father's Day? Oh, nothing? Huh. Weird.
I got to get home. My mom is cooking dinner.
Yeah. What's your mom doing? Oh, okay.
Oh, she's not here.
Oh, you don't know?
Yeah, I don't know. I keep forgetting.
My bad.
I love all the orphans.
We love orphans. We do. I grew up there, so.
I like them now. Anyway.
I like them now.
I don't like that they're orphans. Like, that's not what the bit is. Yeah.
Wait, but that how is that? Like, I mean, jokes aside, that must have been. I mean, I don't know if you were old enough to like grasp
I remember
everything.
bits and pieces of it. So I was there from birth to like when I was 4.
Oh,
so I remember
okay.
bits and pieces. And it's actually they all treated me like the younger brother because they all grew up with my mom and my aunts because my grandmother had been there for 25 years, so they all grew up on the orphanage, and I was always treated like just the baby of the family.
Mm-hmm.
So I technically had like 300 brothers and sisters growing up.
300.
With all of
I
them,
thought it was like 16.
no, this was a big. Yeah, I mean, they're still operating. City of Children in Ensenada, Mexico. They're still operating, still fully functioning. Shout out to everybody out there. But yeah, that's where we grew up and that's what we did. So I remember bits and pieces of like all of us hanging out and whatnot. And you know, my grandpa took care of the property. My grandmother oversaw the kids. So it was a whole thing.
Have you? I mean, you were 4, so it's not like you would have. But have you found anybody? Has anybody like reconnected with you?
I haven't personally because again, being 4, it's not like
Right.
I was like, here's my Instagram. Catch you later.
Yeah, exactly.
Handing out
Hit
business
me up,
cards?
right? But
Latino against
my grandma's kept in touch with a lot of them, and a lot of them have reached back out. A lot of them have visited us. So she's, a lot of them became lawyers and doctors and did good things with their lives and have their own families and whatnot. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
really
it's
cool.
It's a good heartfelt story.
Aw. I'm all warm and fuzzy.
Have you? I don't know if you know this or not, but like, because you said it's in Ensenada.
Mhm.
So I had heard that like in that area, there's a lot of like orphans. I mean, obviously, but like, there's at least 300 of them.
Don't point at me when you say obviously. Like it's my fault they were orphans. Yeah, we weren't out here creating Batman.
We must perfect it.
But I remember like I went to this like lecture one time and they were saying that there's a lot of like indigenous kids that are orphans because they said there's so many languages spoken like in Mexico that
Sure.
they don't always necessarily know like what tribe that the kids are from, and so they have like I don't know. Obviously, I don't think it's your grandma's orphanage, but I just remember they were like, yeah, they just have like kids in orphanages where it's like hard for them to communicate because
With Ensenada's is I don't want to say pretty far, but there's not a lot of indigenous communities nearby. There are a few, but they're pretty well established from what I understand. And I haven't been back in like 25 years, mind you. And this is just what I know from like my family and looking into myself. The further you go into like central Mexico, Mexico DF and that entire area, the more indigenous communities higher up in like the mountains and more rural and isolated areas.
Right.
But you do see some of that where due to parents getting killed or, disease or whatever, or just, not having the medical facilities necessary, you do have a lot of kids that don't have next of kin and do get put into the system and now can't communicate. And so it does become an issue.
yikes.
Clip it.
Wow. Yeesh. Heavy topic. But it's a
Bummer
thing.
alert.
Yeah, way to bring the vibes down. Hey, comedy show later tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember because my mom was very much when we were in high school into like putting us in like mecha and like
Sure.
so it's funny I still don't speak Spanish, but we went to like all of these like conventions and like seminars and stuff
Yeah.
through mecha. So I just like there's like a couple things like the language one and then them talking about the orphanage has always been like a core memory of mine of like standing out. So it was like just interesting to hear that you have that connection.
Something that we do have, and Ensenada specifically in that area, a huge Hooterite community.
Oh, what?
Hooterite.
What is that?
Do you know what the Amish are?
Yes.
It's the Hooterites are another like subsect of that same kind of ideology. And
They kind of
upbringing.
Mormon it, where like the rules were getting too strong in America. So like we're gonna be more extreme in Mexico.
The King James did, fucking Lutheran.
I thought-
No, because like with Amish, I believe. I was gonna say I'm sorry if I get this wrong, Amish people. You're not gonna be watching this.
back
Like
to them, I'll
no
be surprised.
technology, whereas the Amish will like still use like cars and whatnot to like transport goods. Hooterites are like zero, nothing, zip zilch, completely isolation, and they'll still do cart and buggy. And they're usually Polish or German. So you have these blonde-haired, blue-eyed, German, Spanish-speaking communities in Mexico, and you're like, what the fuck happened here?
Kind of similar to the Romneys, yeah.
Yeah.
They're in Mexico.
You're not, yeah,
Yeah,
that's legitimately kind of the same situation.
Yeah.
Great wine. Great fucking wine,
You
dude.
ever had Hooterite wine?
Yeah, honestly. Or actually, they have this cheesecake, or not cheesecake, this apple cheese cake. Where it's apple, right? An apple pie, sorry, with layers of thin crust and then small layers of cheese in between each other layer. So fucking good.
Sounds
That's
really
American.
good.
It's a lasagna pie.
It's American, dude. It's not a cheddar cheese. It's like a white, sweet Mexican cheese. That's banging.
Crazy.
Sign me up. That sounds really good.
You know what's something else? I don't know why all this talk is kind of triggering me in a certain.
It's the orphans.
Yeah, it's the orphans probably. Something kind of spooky that we think is normal. And so in California, I don't know what it was like going to school for you guys, but they make us do in fourth grade. They make us do a project on the missions.
No.
So you have to pick a mission in California and do a whole project on
No
it.
shit.
Make like a diorama.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
So
California
we chose
has
the Trail
a-
of Tears.
California
and-
has a lot of Latinos that are like, hey, you know what you should learn about? Colonization.
Oh, fuck. And if that's not the spookiest thing, assimilation.
I don't know if it's the San Gabriel mission. I mean, there's a thing about the missions in California that some of them, I'm sorry for laughing, it's a reflex, but the story goes that like they put fucking bodies in the walls of the mission.
Yeah.
Right? So like you have to make a mission for this project. And some kids
So you just put Sour Patch Kids in there. and
got
like,
extra credit.
Damn.
they got extra credit.
No, they didn't get extra, but I just mean like they went the extra mile to like put skeletons and shit like in the walls of a
There's
mission.
kudos for like historic accuracy, though.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the thing that's so crazy though, is because like we're taught like, I mean, we grew up in the American education system, so it's like you're taught like, oh yeah, you're American. So like when they're like, oh yeah, they did this to the Indians or they did this to the Mexicans, it was like, well, not me.
the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never got taught any of that.
Yeah, same.
And so the majority of my education was in Seattle. So they taught us a lot about like Chief Seattle and all the Native American kind of nations and communities up there. But yeah, we never learned about the missions or anything like that. And it's wild as an adult, like reading books and being like, when did this happen? Excuse me? What? When? So it's weird hearing it and coming here and seeing that.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense because I don't think Seattle would have been part of Mexico.
I don't think so.
No, so it was California, Nevada, Arizona, Texas for sure. I don't think Colorado, but I want to say part of Colorado.
I mean, I feel like Colorado.
it's Hispanic, right?
Colorado,
Colorado, like that's where
yeah.
Chile Colorado comes from. It's not. I do love a good Chile Colorado.
It's a good, we should look up the map sometime.
I don't know. I just know Cal is California, Oregon, Washington, and then Idaho is right next.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. It's California, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, the thin strip of Idaho, Montana,
Right.
North and South Dakota. Let's just pull up a map. Let's just fucking go over this real quick.
Yeah, I have like another spooky moment, but I think I just write it off as like sleep paralysis.
Sleep paralysis sucks, dude. That alone is spooky.
blows.
Because I remember like waking up and like still feeling like even your like vocal cords are
Everything.
paralyzed.
Everything.
And like my eyes are open, and I was sleeping on a futon, which makes the sleep paralysis worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. It's like, fuck, I'm paralyzed and broke. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I remember trying to like scream for my brother's help, and I had this like silhouette like ghost demon thing.
It was your brother.
It was my brother. He was propelling
himself down.
He was really into Mission Impossible.
Yeah, peak Tom Cruise era.
Yeah. And I saw that ghost, and I remember looking back. I was terrified, but I remember looking back, and I was like, "Why did that ghost look like that ghost from Lavender Town Tower in Pokemon before you get the self scope?"
Yeah. That blur.
Yeah, that
fucking-
blurry ghost.
So specific.
You need to go get the Sylph scope, dude.
I-
You didn't have it in your inventory, bro.
I have had sleep paralysis once, and it was just at my parents' house. I was still living at home, and I remember just waking up and my eyes snapped in one particular direction. There was nothing there, but everything in my body and my mind was like, something is standing there staring at me. And I had to literally vocalize like, you are not welcome here or whatever. And eventually like it eased and I was fine. So I don't know if anything was legit in that moment, but I definitely felt that like your heart stop moment.
Dude, you used
as
your
you're
white
just
privilege
staring.
to scare it away, bro.
I did.
That's
I
legit,
did.
dude. That's
Yeah.
good.
I used to get sleep paralysis all the time because I had really bad sleep. I think after a while, like I realized you become like kind of lucid, and so you're like, oh fuck, I'm in sleep paralysis right now. So it's like kind of just waiting for it to pass. But every so often I forget that like it'll happen in a way where I forget that it happened, that I'm in it. And like one time, this was the most recent time, it was like 2 weeks ago, and like Ryan was staying with me at the time, and I had to take a nap, so I was asleep. Ryan was on TikTok live talking to everybody, and
It's just you in the background freaking out.
well, no, it was the thing is
Mention the merch.
no, exactly. This is what
Don't
happened.
fly.
This is what happened because I'm aware, like at least I know I've never had like the dark monster like thing on my chest or whatever. I've never had that. It's always just like trying to like reach out to somebody, and I'm like,
We're trying to get to reach you about your extended car warranty.
but I could hear Ryan like on his live, and I kept being like, plug the show. And I was like, Ryan, plug the show. And then he just like kept talking. The funniest thing to me is in my head was that I heard him say something, which he didn't say, but I heard him say something incorrect about like the ticket links.
Oh no.
And in my head, I was like, Ryan, that's the wrong thing. And I was like screaming. I was like, you motherfucker. I was like, you fucking son of a bitch. You said the wrong Ryan. And he wasn't paying attention to me. And it's just funny to think that I'm like, motherfucker. And then if you look at Ryan, like he's like, I'm just like,
But inside you're rattling the fucking cage.
inside I'm
dude.
like, fucking Ryan. And then it's,
One of the first times that I can remember having sleep paralysis, I had just watched Paranormal Activity, the first one. It had just come out. And I was like, I watched it and I was like, this shit's fucking scary, dude. And then at the very end of that movie, it hits you with the based on true events. And I'm like, what the fuck? Fuck that. Go home, go to sleep. And I'm getting curled in bed. And I remember lifting the covers up and looking down at my feet. And just past my feet, there's a silhouette of a person. Shoulders, head. And I'm like, not today, bitch.
Knees and toes.
Shoulders, knees, and toes. I was like, you're not going to get me. Not right now. So I stayed up for 8 hours staring at that bitch. And I'm like, I'm not going to fucking, not today, kukui. So the sun starts coming up. It's my fucking coat that I put on the back of my chair. And I was like, this is some bullshit.
I have recently, in the last couple of years, I have actually witnessed like ghost moving shit.
That's right.
I'm also very skeptical because I know you said
Yeah.
you typically don't believe in this stuff. I have sat and honestly thought about it, and there's no way that it was like a freak accident or like a breeze. I was sitting and watching the new Halloween movie when they first started doing the new ones, and in my apartment there was vertical blinds that went out to my patio. And so I'm sitting watching. It's cold out. I have the AC unit, but it's in the corner of the room. It's on, but it's not enough. If anything, the blinds moved very slightly. in the middle of this movie, it legit looked like somebody reached through the glass door of my patio and just dragged their hands along the blinds. And it's in like the creepiest part of the movie. And I was like, I don't need this now. This is not the time. Please go away. I don't know who you are. Just leave me alone.
But you stayed, didn't you?
I did stay.
See, fuck that.
New
Hola,
apartment.
buenas tardes.
And then in the same apartment, I was playing a game. I was close to the TV. I had my closet door was open slightly. I had to get something out of it before playing. And in the middle of playing, I have my brother on my headset. And so we're playing games, whatever. And the closet door opened from like a crack to like 75% open by itself. And I was like, Gary, I don't want to live here anymore.
That was the cuckoo coming out to you, bro.
Apparently.
Coming out of the closet.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, you are
I'm
welcome.
here.
Cuckoo.
I'm here, bitches.
Fucking great.
I try to explain to my coworker one time what sleep paralysis was, and he's like, "No, do you know actually what that is?" He's like, "That's the devil sitting on your chest." And I was like, "All right." And he's like, "And if you're not careful, he'll start to give you kisses." And I was like, "I don't."
It's like, dude, did you have an uncle growing up with you? Like,
I don't want to continue this conversation
I
anymore.
don't want to.
I want sleep paralysis more than that.
He'll start to give you kisses. That's so funny.
That's
I
like
just love-
he's more
and if
trying to
you're not-
explain the kisses.
Well, just the whole concept. If you're not careful, I'm like, he's gonna steal my soul. He's gonna give you a smooch.
Smoochy boochie.
He's gonna caress the side of your cheek.
Jesus Christ.
God.
Oh, so I actually wanted to get into. So you and Cujo, you guys met. How did you guys meet? So like, because you guys are like in gaming and
So
This was like last January.
was it?
Yeah.
You keep moving back the month. I'm convinced that you're adding time.
No. It was last January. So I had just started. So I started posting. My first video was like December of like 21. That was the first video that I ever posted. It had nothing to do with Latinos and spooky shit. It was a video where I was realizing that my Spanish, my English voice were different.
I've seen that. Yeah.
So that one went popular. Cool, whatever. You commented on it, and I was like, okay, that's neat. I didn't pay any attention because I didn't know you. And then I went on live, and you were one of the few people that were in there interacting,
Yeah.
and we started chatting. And I mentioned liking like wrestling or WWE, and so you cut like a quick promo in the text, and I just ran with it for a bit and did a quick bit. And
Yeah,
then
it was something like you were in the middle of discussing like Stone Cold or The Rock or something like that. And I was like, "Oh, he's into wrestling. That's awesome." You know, I made a mention like, "Yeah, I've been wrestling for years. That's awesome. It's so cool to see somebody else." And he's like, "Yeah, that's awesome. I also used to wrestle. Don't ask me how hard I hit, or you'll find out." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Are you calling me out?" And then that's what I was like,
yeah, and then it was a whole
kind.
thing. And then since then, he kept commenting on my stuff, and I was like, "Yeah, this guy seems cool. I like some of his content." And we just connected, and then we started streaming together.
It was really
That's-
funny. The first time we actually talked, I had just
cried.
finished work. I did cry. I wept. It meant so much to me.
Never meet your heroes, folks.
No, I just finished work. I was working a job that was just really stressful, but I was off, and we had linked up through Instagram at one point. We were just messaging back and forth. And I remember you were like, "What are you up to tonight?" And I was like, "Sitting. It's COVID. I'm sitting at home, probably gonna play some WWE." He's like, "Do you want to link up? Do you want to play games?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." And we talked for like four and a half hours or something like that. I was like, "Okay, all right, this guy's kind of cool. This is great."
And then when I realized he didn't want to wear my skin, I was like, "Cool, this guy's
yeah,
alright."
it's weird. People really, really assume the worst.
It's weird because it's like you see people pop up all the time, and like I never made the connections because like we had chatted a couple times. You had messaged me, and then like we were kind of like just commenting on each other's stuff, and then Ryan was doing this D&D thing, and I fucking am pissed because I got reached out to as well, and I never saw the message.
No.
Yeah, it's fine. I was very hurt that you didn't even look at it. It was great.
I blocked you for a second. I did.
Yeah.
I really.
Yeah,
You know how I wept when I met him? I wept when you didn't respond.
harder even actually. Yeah.
There's a pattern here.
Ricky, don't start. I'll start crying right now.
To be fair, not to be fair to me, but I am notorious for being hard to get a hold of. We did get to play D&D together.
We did.
Check it out
That
in
was
the
super
Patreon.
fun.
That was legitimately a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. Everybody had banger like lines, character, like everybody had a great moment.
I always hope that at least one good banger comes out of each person in a D&D
yeah.
session, and we fucking crushed it.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, this needs to maybe happen more.
Listen,
Hey,
I'm
maybe
down.
I am 100% down. I will love to play If I could play D&D every single day, I would absolutely.
Oh,
do
easily.
so.
That would be
100%.
sick.
It is so much fun.
But so Ryan did a live stream for you guys, which I wasn't able to watch the like full
You
live.
weren't even able to watch it.
I didn't watch it live, but I did watch like the whole thing. Like I did.
Yeah.
the,
So you're better than that.
I
Dom.
played it back and watched. See, I watched it when it wasn't even live, and I saw all of
The
it.
commitment.
Yeah.
Because it was a long one. Huh?
That
It was like 5 hours.
It's like
Yeah,
4.5,
it was like
5 hours.
to 5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight. I
Including
love
the break,
sessions
it
like that.
was, including the break, it was like 6 hours. So.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
did take like a 30-minute hiatus.
We need it. I think we definitely need it too.
We're
And
burning
I'm
out.
starting to implement that in our Wednesday game because, like, I'm realizing sitting and playing, and it's fun, but sometimes you forget how long you sit and play until it's like, oh shit! You mentioned earlier how have 4 hours gone by? It's like that's what happens.
Yeah, I
when
didn't
you
realize.
play.
We
You
left the
don't even
house. We
realize.
left the hotel at like 10:30, and when we went to the conference room, it was 2:30, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. We only
Yeah.
recorded for 2 hours. Where's the other 2 hours? What
Yeah.
happened? Time's not real.
Yeah.
Time's not real.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
My first time playing Dungeons and Dragons, we went for 12 hours without realizing it.
Yeah, it's quick to get lost in it.
It is weird because it's like I've played a lot of games. I've even played D&D a little bit before.
Yeah.
But that amount of time passed the smoothest I've had time pass in a long time.
Good. I'm
Yeah.
glad.
And I'm 34.
Sam,
That's how smooth it was. I started when I was 27. Oh,
You know, it's funny.
I'm a level 5.
D&D. So I started D&D like 10 years ago. That's when I really started. 15 years ago. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's
Oh, so
I
you
just
were
put my life in-
pre-edition. You were, what, 4th or 3rd edition?
2.5 is what I started at.
time
So I
war.
started, yeah. Womp. So I started on 2.5, and then we developed and evolved. But like 5 years ago, I bought like a big bag of dice, like a 5-pound bag, right? And I used to hold that in my backpack anytime I went to hang out with friends.
lot of dice.
It's a lot of dice. Hot take. Fight me. You only need one set of dice.
Don't
care. I will die on that
no,
hill.
no, no.
Lou Wilson,
No, no,
Brendan
no, no.
Lee,
No.
Mulligan. Like
you want to know what's funny
I'm on
about
Lou's
the Lou
side.
Wilson thing?
Hold on.
Somebody tweeted a picture of him right before he was about to play the new game, and he had a huge bag of dice sitting in front of him.
They probably put it there for a bit.
I'm
I don't
sure
care.
they did.
My
You
grandma,
need as much dice as your character needs.
which is
yeah.
one set.
Okay.
That's all you
Per
need.
character.
Play it
Hold
with-
on. Shut up.
start.
Shut up,
Play
Cujo.
Wizard and cast Fireball
We-
and roll
so
that
my mom-
1d6 8 times.
Let's let Josh.
I'm just waiting to make sure that. My grandma finds my set of dice, and I didn't realize this because she didn't ask me. She asked.
You're summoning the demons, mijo.
So she asked my mom. She's like,
I went down a darker path. I was like, then she started like having a gambling problem.
Just saw her in the back of your house.
She's
just like
throwing
with the street
dice.
kids.
she's just
shooting
like,
dice.
Mijo, I'm throwing bones. Like, grandma, grandma, where'd you even learn that phrase? I watched Blood In, Blood Out. So she finds my bag of dice and she asks my mom, she's like, Mija, what is Jonathan doing? Is he okay? Is he playing the demon? We're like, what are you talking about, Grandma? Is he playing with the devil? And my mom's like, no, it's just a game where you play and you make stuff up. She's like, okay, so no demons? I'm like, no. Okay, he's just a little weird. I'm like, thanks, Grandma. Thanks. And she hands me a bag of dice, hands it to me back, and she's like, it's okay, mijo. I'm like, thanks for approving of my fucking weirdness, I guess. Thanks.
Thanks for the authorization to
Yeah.
keep playing.
Yeah, because D&D is nothing but devil worship, as we all know.
Yeah, absolutely. At least that's a more interesting reaction to people finding out you play D&D than my family. I'll be like, yeah, I'm doing a charity stream. Like when I was talking about doing the charity stream with you guys, I was telling my family, and they're like, oh, cool. What are you guys gonna do? We're gonna play D&D all the whole time. And they're like, great. Sounds fun. How does that work? And I was like, you roll dice and you tell stories. They're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but then they'll watch Days of Our Lives for 10 hours.
Yeah. But I mean,
Shout out Days of Our Lives.
tune in now.
Yeah, my dad was like big into football and like an athlete in high school, and then we're like, I like Dungeons and Dragons and Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
I mean, my dad's a little bit of a nerd.
He likes comic books.
He loves comic
No,
books.
I feel like everybody that plays sports likes comic books, but not everybody that likes comic books likes sports. It's a weird thing. But like
valid.
major league players, all are nerdy.
But everyone who plays Pokemon loves basketball.
But not everybody who loves basketball plays Pokemon.
No, like 100%. I've never met someone who didn't like both.
I never learned how to play the Pokemon game.
Like actually play the card game?
Yeah. I liked the pictures and they were pretty.
Yeah, same. I collected, but I never played.
Same with Yu-Gi-Oh and Digimon. Well, I did play Yu-Gi-Oh.
I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh.
I played Yu-Gi-Oh like once. in, like,
Yu-Gi-Oh is
junior
fun.
high.
Yu-Gi-Oh
It's like a
not
junior version of Magic the Gathering.
and not this new age Yu-Gi-Oh shit though.
I don't know.
I played all of those, but we used to make up our own rules. Like we just
That's
played.
how we played Pokemon.
Yeah.
Back in my
You played it the way they played it in the show, which is I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want
That's
to
how we
win.
played it.
Yeah.
My buddy built a that virus card that infects.
Yeah.
Like he built a deck so he could win like that, and I just put all monsters under 1200 attack into my deck, and killed him with crappy monsters.
Incredible. Incredible. Genius. Think smarter, not harder.
I was
folks.
always pissed because in the show they have the curry bow, like the little football, and then he does like the duplicate spell on it.
You're right.
And I'm like, that's not how the game works.
At all. Not even remotely
You
close.
can't do that.
I was mad because you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
Just
Right.
summon a
But in
million
the
of them.
show.
You, my entire field is full of them. You only have 5 spots, bro. How do you have 30 of these guys?
Yeah.
But look how cute they are.
Go kill them.
Kill them with cuddles.
That'd be funny. You like try to guilt him into forfeiting. Like, can you kill this face?
You grab one of the orphans. Look at him.
Yugi, this is unfair.
You already took his parents. What more can you take from him? Shout out orphans.
I love all the orphans. In
We
the
love all
world.
the
I
orphans.
love orphans.
If you want to donate, find
Join
an
our
orphanage. I
Patreon.
guess I don't know. I'm not gonna plug one in.
So how has your journey been through, like, because your whole thing is Latinos against spooky
Yeah.
shit. So, like, are you feeling like a push from like the Latino community? Are you writing this like, because during quarantine, like Latinos are on the come up right now.
Yeah, especially with like, which is weird that I'm mentioning Wakanda Forever, but with like the Noche Huerta, like he's got so much backing because we have some like indigenous representation now, and I'm fairer skinned compared to like most Latinos, but I really found that my content has been a cool gap between like No Sabo kids and the ways that they grew up, because a lot of people grew up with these, you know, like always putting Vicks on and like El Huevo and Brujeria and all those things, but they don't know why it's done and they think it's isolated to just them. But it's like, no, mijo, like everybody that grew up in a Latin household has gone through this. And so watching people from like South America, Latin America, all over and be like, oh shit, you guys do that too? And watching it be kind of a common ground for everybody has been really cool. So the Latin community has really been behind it, and it's opened up a lot of cool conversations and opportunity. And yeah, that's kind of what that trajectory has looked like so far. So it's been a good run. We're still going though.
I mean, I don't want to say, nobody wants to be a representative, but that's like, is that like who you're making your is that like your goal in mind, is like that's who you're making your stuff for?
Yes and no. My thing with comedy is if it makes me laugh, I want to do it. Because if it makes me laugh, it was worth it. And if it makes other people laugh, awesome. And it just so happens that I'm absolutely playing to a cultural stereotype, but it's more than a stereotype because it's real, because it exists. Like, I do remember legitimately anytime anything was wrong with me, Grandma was there with Vicks, whether it was a cough, a headache, bruised knee, whatever it was. Vicks was the answer to it. Kind of like, apparently, according to my comment section, the Greeks and Windex. That's their thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's a huge thing, apparently. So there's these little nuances, and, I just think it's a fun way to educate people, but also kind of have a callback to, like, our culture and our history, and just kind of the way that we grew up. So,
Yeah.
it's fun.
I just wish we could put aloe vera on childhood trauma.
That's the one thing that you cannot hear is internal damage with Vicks. Yeah, that's what tequila's for.
Aloe vera on the inside.
Yeah, so I don't know that I'm trying to be the representative of anything in particular. I'm speaking on my own experiences, and if it resonates with people, awesome, join the bandwagon, and that's kind of where I'm at.
Word on the street is you have some pretty notable followers.
Oh, I heard about this. Also.
Infinity Stones. He calls
Shakira?
them.
No. It depends on whom you're referencing, but some of the ones that I love too, that I've been collecting, and I've told them, like Infinity Stones, some of the cast members of College Humor.
Really?
Yeah, Abria Iyengar, Danielle Bradford. I'm name dropping, and I'm so sorry, guys. Serena Marie. The name of Sam Reich himself.
Dang.
That's awesome.
So I've been.
Dog, you got to pitch a fucking show to Sam, dude.
I actually did last night.
Yeah?
I couldn't sleep, and we'd gone out, and we'd been drinking with some friends, and I was like, dude, I've got one. And I sent him a message on TikTok, and I was like, listen, you take a novela with no context in any language, and you make your players dub over it, and the person that gets closest to what the actual plot is gets the point, and you can call it What the Dub. And that was my idea on that pitch. Just quick, like 15-second clips where they have to dub over it in real time. A la like, whose line is it anyways?
Right. That would be funny. I mean, that would be good for Game Changer
I was gonna
or
say,
like
Yeah.
one of their make some noise shows.
Make some noise would be good. Yeah.
Noise Boys in there. Yeah.
That reminds me. I mean, it's so there's a couple comedians in LA. Jesus Trejo. What's the guy from Chile's name? Fabrizio.
Fabrizio Copano.
And then there's a third guy that I don't know his name, but they run a show, and one of the things that they do is it's like a Latino show, and it's like English and Spanish.
Okay.
But they do a thing too where they have somebody watch like clips that are like videos and clips in Spanish, and they have to like translate it.
Which is great.
Yeah.
I love that. It's because Spanish never quite translates easily into English. So if you do a word for word translation, it makes no fucking sense.
No.
What the
Yeah.
hell they're talking
But
about.
it'll be like viral, like Yahweh por favor, like videos like that.
Yahweh, por favor, no mames.
That's universal.
Yeah.
Because how do you translate that? You can't.
It's like videos like that.
That's so good.
Like not just like clips from like TV. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
viral clips.
Gotcha. Like home footage.
Yeah, like home footage.
That's so good.
Yahweh por favor is the funniest.
That's a top tier one.
I mean, honestly, look, I love Dropout, but they need a little bit more like
Representation?
a little bit more Latinos on that show,
I
on that
think
platform.
I think they're doing a bit better in most recent things, and I love everything that they do. Period, but they do need a little bit more
Everything's
BIPOC
growing.
representation. 100%.
Everything's going. It's not a criticism, but I'm just like
No.
I'm saying that as in like,
It's like an
this pitch
observation.
is cool.
Yeah.
because they could.
It helps them branch.
In their efforts of like building the diversity, because like you're right, they have totally been. I'm not gonna listen. I want to be on fucking Dropout. Dude.
Sam Reich.
What we're saying
you
is
heard us here.
us.
That's funny.
I want to be on them actually.
Actually,
You would be great
You would
on
fucking
Actually.
kill it on actually.
Yeah.
Get it fucking together, dudes. Come on,
Hey,
shit.
hey, Brennan, how you doing?
Dude.
Are you hitting on him, or are you trying to get on the show?
Yes.
Why not? It would be funny. I mean, I know that that's like their brand. They have that, but it would be funny to see somebody like I would love to be in a room with Ryan. First of all, Ryan's met Adam Conover through comedy, so like they know each other.
Hello. He's one of my mutuals.
Yeah,
awesome.
on Instagram. But like it would
And
be
TikTok.
funny to have like an actually with like Ryan, Adam Conover, and Brendan Lee Mulligan. Like
The three most knowledge absorbing people.
The 3 mind palaces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, if it's a bird episode, Brennan,
Palace.
I mean,
he's got
If
that
it's a
one.
bee episode,
Buzz buzz.
Buzz. That's so funny. Yeah, no, it's been weird connecting with these people on TikTok and like Instagram.
Well, what's cool too, you actually said that you got a couple AEW wrestlers too that followed you too, right? There's Malachi Black. Right?
Malachi Black, his wife.
That's
I've got
His wife.
that's
his
nuts.
wife. I like.
whoa, careful.
No, careful, Johnson.
Don't take that out of context.
I was doing. I didn't. She's a lovely. Selena Vega. She's lovely. I
respect her marriage.
Nice recovery.
With respect to your marriage, that's not what I meant. I was just doing the line. Just fuck myself. I've got Tiffany Haddish followed me last night actually.
Last night.
Yeah,
Oh,
on
that just
Instagram.
happened because that's the one that he dropped. That I was like, oh,
Yeah, when I looked you up, I'm like, Tiffany Haddish follows him.
Yeah, weird to me too. She liked a couple of my videos. I'm like, oh, that's fucking neat, cool. And then she followed me. I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. Yeah,
That's awesome.
And not to name, I think the one that I'm most excited about, and name drop if I'm name dropping, tomorrow. I'm meeting Martin Moreno.
Nah.
oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so I'm super stoked on that one. I'm gonna be on Brujo 101 with them.
That's
Nice.
crazy. He's
Yeah.
been at the show I help run.
No shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Chatterbox.
he's been at the show.
Oh, dope.
So we met him too.
Yeah,
yeah, no, whatever. We all fucking know him
That
now, right?
exciting.
We saw his nipples in person.
Everybody's met Martin.
I'm
Ryan-
hoping to touch them.
Ryan did a show with him, didn't you? Or were you just at the show?
No, he was at the show.
Oh, okay.
We
I
took
thought
photos.
you were on the lineup with him.
That's fucking wild.
Um,
Yeah, no, in like TikTok stars and TikTok stars, we can even fucking call them that, but it's just weird connecting with folks that like I've seen you grow, and now I can directly message you is weird. I still don't believe all the shit that's happening.
that's how that's how it happens though. Is you just like keep doing it, you be consistent, and like as long as you're like good at what you do. Sorry, not everybody gets the breaks, but like
There's some people out there that are like, I don't want to say one hit wonders, but like you get one viral video and then they just can't get that traction to keep going.
It's-
It happens.
It's scary to go viral without learning what you have.
Yeah.
That's what happened with me. So I went viral with the voice one, right?
Right.
And I was like, okay, maybe my thing is voice, so I'm gonna try some voice acting clips. They did okay. I did an egg flip video after my voice one that was more popular than the voice one, like 4.5 million versus 6.6 million views. And I'm like, fuck, am I the egg flip guy? Is that what I'm known for now?
that's what TikTok
Shit.
does though.
And then I did another one and it flopped. No pun intended. And I'm
Here's your
like,
target demographic.
yeah, they found them.
Just have
You're the one
Ryan-
that watched it 6.6 million times. And then I couldn't get traction like that again. And the Latinos Against Spooky shit thing happened by accident. Saw the video of the guy. And I was like, dude, Latinos would never fucking do this. I'm gonna stitch it really quick. Stitched it. First thing that came out of my mouth was representative Latinos Against Spooky shit. And then the rest is history. Went viral, and then like 100 videos later, here we are.
And it's
awesome.
it's kind of it's the perfect for when you can have a hook like that, and because I'm sure like people tag you and stuff now.
All the time.
Oh yeah.
I had to turn my notifications off.
Yeah.
It's bad. I mean, it's good. Thank you guys for all the love and support. But yeah, it was ding ding ding. And I'm like, and mute. I'll come back
That's
to
why
that
you're not
later.
responding to my messages. What the hell?
That's one of the reasons.
At least they don't tag you in mustard videos. I still to this day get tagged in fucking mustard videos.
That's fucking funny.
Anytime somebody's
Hey,
like,
what color's your shirt, dude?
"Hey, don't worry about it."
You know what's funny? Ryan told him to change his shirt. That previous shirt was a yellow shirt.
It's almost like you like it at this
This
point.
is a honey yellow shirt.
That's
Honey
a
mustard.
Got him.
We have shirts available.
In mustard
Oh, they're
yellow?
over there.
In bright fucking yellow.
Some more mustard shirts for you.
Listen, I put it up to a vote. I wanted a purple shirt, but I was like, "Hey, let's give the Discord some options."
Don't give people options.
And they
They're
voted-
gonna fuck you over every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
For the
It
yellow.
was I will say it was almost purple for like a second.
Yeah.
It was 4-1 for like 10 minutes, and then it jumped to like 19 to 4.
Available in the Etsy store.
I do have a question though about all of the yellow shirts. Is it kind of like a red pants thing?
No, what does that mean? I piss out of my tits?
What?
What?
Eat
What
so much
the
mustard,
hell?
You don't
I'm
want the
what?
stains to be seen.
Oh, I was thinking about the
made
brown
my
pants
bit
joke.
so much weirder. I was talking about mustard stains, you weirdo.
If that's not a bumper sticker in the
I
next week,
piss out of my tits.
Give it up for Dominic's comedy special. Piss on my tits.
So you know the
first
joke.
Netflix
You don't know
special.
the brown pants joke.
apparently not.
So there's a ship. There's a ship out to sea, right?
Okay.
And the captain, the what's it called? The first mate comes to the captain. He's like, Captain, there's a ship spotted a kilometer out, and he goes, okay, give me my red jacket. That way, if they shoot me, they won't see the blood, and we'll maintain order, right?
Okay.
And then the next day, he's like, Captain, there's 2 ships a kilometer
I
out,
can see the buildup.
right?
Okay.
Give me my red jacket. Okay. And the next day, he's like, Captain, there's 10 ships a kilometer out. I think he's like, okay, get me my brown pants.
Yeah. Okay.
There's the trail of logic.
Of why you're pissing out of your nipples. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I was making a mustard joke.
What is
Ryan
red pants?
defending his position.
I
like,
said
listen.
pants instead of shirt, but you still got it.
If your Netflix
I don't get where you
special,
got pissed out of your tits from.
if
Brown
your Netflix
pants.
special is not called "I piss out of my tits," then I feel that
piss
there's
out
a
of my
missed
tits.
opportunity.
If it's not, yeah, it's not
Listen.
a callback to this exact moment. We're done being friends.
Thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for running D&D for us.
Absolutely.
which,
Anytime.
Fun.
again, you guys can catch in the Patreon coming out this Friday. It's a lot of fun. Do you guys have anything you guys want to plug?
Stay tuned for more Latinos Against Spooky Shit stuff. I will be getting on a constant streaming schedule on Twitch. My handles are all the same on Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok. Latinos Against Spooky Shit. Podcast is coming soon. Factually Inaccurate with Cujo Plays Games. Check him out as well.
Thank you.
And otherwise, thank you guys for having us. This has been
Yeah.
incredibly fun, and I can't wait to get some merch.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let's
Oh,
get
yeah.
some merch.
If you made it to the end of the episode, let us know in the comments what your favorite color shirt is.
Fuck you guys.
And from us at Un Poquito, don't fly.